Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Selena Marche, and this is You Plus Happy. Each week, I bring you someone who challenges us to define happiness and success on their own terms with a dose of laughter. Remember to subscribe; it helps the channel, and then the show can keep growing, and we can keep bringing you great guests. This week, we have Gary E. Jordan, an Atlanta native. Oh, should I have said the second?
My dad will be fine.
he's the second Atlanta native. He was an artist. He was in artist development and an A&R, but now he is in film and TV. Gary has since been credited with discovering, developing, and working with some of the most influential musical artists and producers known to the city. Gary founded his production company, Follow the Water Productions, in 2019. In the fall of 2022, Gary co-founded the Coalition of Artists, COA, a creative collective centered around developing and creating opportunities for actors, writers, directors, producers, videographers, poets, and musicians to collaborate on, fund, produce, and promote their projects within the realm of film, TV, and entertainment. I'm out of breath. If you all have been listening to the show, you know I've had a lot of guests on from COA. I go to COA. I'm a huge proponent for it. And I'm really excited to have Gary here and talk to him about it. And you should check out COA because it's changed my life for real. Welcome to the show, Gary.
Listen, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I wanted to be here for a good little minute.
I'm about to say, finally, we did it. We're doing it.
So many of our people, like a coalition of artists, attendees, and friends and family on here over the past year. So I'm just like,
yeah.
My turn.
Yeah. I was nervous to have Gary on for a while because he runs COA, so it's like different, right? It's different. But I've been lucky enough to be introduced to it and benefit greatly from it. Okay, we'll get started. How did you get started in this field and have
film and television?
No, music.
Okay, just entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, it happened back in 2008 when a friend of mine decided that he wanted to rap, and being that I'm so personable, as you know, he's like, "You should be a manager. You can manage." You know, so I was introduced to entertainment in that way. Worked with them for a little bit, but I'm not really a rap fan like that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm an R&B guy.
Okay, I should know that.
Yeah, I love ballads, and melodies.
And, okay,
you know what I'm saying. So, I gave it a shot. But once they like low-key retired from the industry, I was like, well, shit, I might as well keep it going. So I moved into the A&R field, which is artist of repertoire, and I started working with a gentleman that trained me in artist management, artist development. And then from there, I was able to start repping my own songwriters and producers, and I was shopping records and creating like opportunities for collaborations and just things of that nature.
What made you say yes when he asked you to be his manager?
It was an opportunity to pivot and change my life outside of just being a 9-to-5er. It was an opportunity to do something creative, and B, it was an opportunity, so I like to be in the habit of exploring opportunities when they come, because for me it's been a part of the journey of discovering what types of opportunities are best for me. You know what I'm saying? Because you might start off thinking all opportunities are the same. Opportunities say yes, and then as you grow, you realize like that wasn't the right opportunity. That could have been the right opportunity for this person, but it wasn't for me. So then you kind of learn. You have to be intentional about learning what types of opportunities are for you, what they look like, how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So
you say no now to some opportunities.
Yeah.
What would you say no to now?
Well, I say no to a lot. Mostly, I say no to things that feel like jobs. You know what I'm saying? So, I produce film and television, yes. But will I produce your project? No. You know what I'm saying? Because I've already spent time doing artist development, artist management, repping other people, trying to get their projects and move their talent towards the forefront. I spent time doing that already. But
Okay.
now I've given myself permission to look at myself as an artist and move more into the creative space. So I have to give myself that same time, that same energy, that same dedication. I have to indulge myself in the same way that I've indulged all these other artists over the years. So now my life is about saying yes to me as a creative. So in order to not be selfish and with regards to being helpful towards people who are, who feel like I can help them, that's part of the reason why me and Shag and Ralph started Coalition of Artists. So that way, as I grow, hell, you can grow too. You want me to help you? Like, well, these are the people that I would work with if I were going to help you. Just talk to them directly. Be friends with them. You know what I'm saying?
All those years of developing other people, the other talents, did that teach you how to develop yourself?
Yeah.
So when it's time to manage yourself, you were like a pro, right?
Yeah. And like at the end of the day, because I was relatively good at it, like because again, like managing people and dealing with personalities and things of that nature comes like natural for me.
Okay.
That part comes natural for me, and thinking creatively, like I've gotten better at it over the years. You know what I'm saying? So like I know what I can bring to an artist situation, but at the end of the day, they don't always honor that.
What made, going back to the first person who asked you to be his manager, what made you feel qualified? Because you said it was an opportunity, but what made you, this is your first time, right? So it's like, what made you feel like, yes, I want to see what could happen, but I can do this?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you just have to have the audacity to tell yourself yes.
Okay.
And you have to, like, I learned later on in the game after I got started. I started going to therapy and just learning more about why I do the things I do and say yes or say no, or like how my feelings work and things of that nature. You just kind of you learn what feeds you, and you learn how to spot a good opportunity, and you learn what works for other people can work for you as well. And then it's just like, well, I need that as well. Now that I'm doing this, I know what I can bring to the table. Like I'm not going to screw myself because I've done that. I've worked with artists who I've worked to get your stuff onto the table, and then you don't show up to the table, or you show up but won't eat, or you show up and want to wreck the table. I know what I'm gonna do when I bring myself to the table.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just like treating myself like an artist. I know exactly what to do, exactly what not to do.
And you mentioned, this is something I think about a lot, navigating personalities, because I don't know, I just get very affected by people's personalities and their behavior. And there's so many different personalities to navigate in this like puzzle. How do you do that?
Oh shit! I was blessed to work in the music industry before doing artist like development, so I was always around artists, and artists are artists. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They have big personalities. They're special because they have big personalities. They're also special because they lean into it and indulge themselves, and they believe the hype about themselves. Like you have to be like low key delusional in order to, you know what I'm saying, be successful at being an artist, and especially to inspire other people to want to work with you or work for you, or kind of leverage their entire lives off you being successful. It's like they got to buy into you as well. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but along with that comes the personalities of everyone who's like creative in the entertainment industry, the artists, the singers, the songwriters, the producers, like everybody.
You're working with a bunch of delusional people.
Yeah, who all have their own like level or idea of like how they see themselves. They all have their own built-in level of self-importance.
Right. So how do you navigate that when it's like,
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm there to get a record out of the situation.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like when I'm in the studio with all these crazy people, we need to get a record. It's all worth it if a dope record comes out of it. And then like if you can get 10 or 12 of them shits, like however many is gonna be on the album, you can get 10 or 12 or 15 dope records out of it. It's all worth it. Then if you can go on tour to support that music and make $100 million, it's all worth it.
Yeah. Why'd you stop doing music?
Because the budgets shrank.
Ooh.
The budget.
Yeah, that's something people don't talk about. Because that's happening in film and television as well.
Yeah, I mean, music did not learn they did not learn the value of technology and the importance of technology early enough. I mean, like hell, Apple Music and like Spotify and like all these different streaming platforms, they could have worked with Napster 30 years ago, but instead they forced them out. They could have worked with LimeWire. They forced them out. Like they squashed all of the technological advances that was going to take music into where it is now.
Yeah.
They squashed it because CDs and physical products were working too well. They didn't understand, like, most people thought the internet was going to be, something that only lasted for
a fad.
Right. So of course everything that comes on, like, humans have like the terrible disposition of not believing the future, not believing in the future, not investing in the future. So the music industry did not do that. They were stuck on physical products and all the money they're making off of physical products. They did not believe in digital. They did not invest in digital. So they're behind the 8 ball with regards to how to make money.
Yeah.
So they didn't learn from it, and in turn, the film and television industry, they did not learn from it either.
If the budgets had stayed the same or gotten bigger, would you have stayed in music?
Well, yeah, I mean, because you're in it because you enjoy it and you grow to love it, but also you want to, like, make a living and buy food and clothes and pay bills and go on vacations and grow to a point where you can live a luxe life.
Do you miss it?
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for me, my favorite thing about working in music was being in the studio with, like, your new favorite record is being made in front of you.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is gonna sweep the Grammys next year. This shit is gonna, like, be like everyone's favorite song, and, like, you're hearing it being made. Shit is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. How did COA come about?
Well, it was 2022. I was in the middle of my pivot from music to film and television because I was under the I convinced myself, rightfully so, that hell, if you can produce an entire album, you know what I'm saying, then you can produce an entire TV show or a movie. You know what I'm saying? The same skill set, just different language, different players, but essentially the same skill set. Like, if not 100% of the skill set, then at least 70%.
You can figure out the rest. You have the foundation.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Because, like, of the 10,000 hours that makes you a master at something, most of that is transferable, but nobody will tell you that, you could be a pluralist and just transfer, skills and shit like that. And, like, people just don't see themselves that way. They don't, like, for me, for instance, like, being in music, I'm thinking, like, I gotta die on the music hill. Like, I gotta get the Grammys. I can't switch or pivot or allow myself to do anything different until I've reached whatever pinnacle that I set in my head. But, like I said before, I gave myself permission to try something new, and I was kind of in the middle of that transition and just trying to figure out what to do next to kind of create something pivotal, because it's different when you're just out here as a solo artist trying to get some things accomplished. But when you're able to build a community around yourself, then it just helps from your own creative development, and it helps with regards to whatever campaign you're trying to build. So I knew that something like that needed to happen to support my own production company, Fall in the Water. So I ended up meeting Ralph, from a guy that his name is David Aranovich. He's an actor that is repped by Ralph.
Okay.
Ralph is a talent agent, of course, writer, producer, director, 2-time Emmy winner, things of that nature. So Ralph had a client that was visiting here in the city, and me and David, we had met on another movie, and he doesn't live in Atlanta. Whenever he's in Atlanta, he calls me. So he called me. He's like, "Hey, I'm here tonight. You want to meet up and have a drink? I got a friend. He's my agent. His name is Ralph. He lives here. He doesn't know anybody. I'm going to invite him too. Neither one of us drink, but we can go for drinks." I'm like, "Well, shit. Yeah." So we met downtown at Ormsby's, right off of Howell Mill, West Midtown. Met up, hung out, talked about what he was trying to do with regards to workshops, because being from LA, he's used to workshopping scripts, workshopping, just that's what they do out there. And being from Atlanta, especially working in entertainment here, I'm familiar with, like, networking and showcasing. That's
what Atlanta,
that's what we do. It's a showcase, artist showcase, R&B showcase, rap showcase, producer showcases, open mics is always some sort of showcase and networking proponent. So now that I'm in film and TV, I just wanted to kind of bring that same model over here. So, the training and education and workshopping along with the networking and, what I'm saying, the socializing and the showcasing, we decided we could do something dope. So we just needed a location. So I reached out to a partner of mine, Shag Owens, who runs Free Life along with another partner of mine, Skrill. They do they're working in the music industry, so they do like live musical activations all over the city. So I knew they knew a location. So I said, well, shit, man, y'all find us a location and let's partner up and make this thing happen. And that's what we did, October of 2022.
They found a location for you. And did you have to go in and talk to the owner?
Yeah. We met with Skinny and Scales and it was like with Ian. Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 of them.
Did you have to pitch
No, we kind of.
How did that conversation go?
Yeah, we just kind of explained to them what we wanted to do because it's Atlanta, so you don't really gotta like over explain. Oh, we want to do a networking event. You know what I'm saying? We want to do.
They were just on board. You said I want to do a networking event. They said cool
because they got this huge space.
So, what benefit did you offer them?
I mean, a shit ton of people every week. Would you know about Atlantucky?
No.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So there's hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 or so people. Like I don't really know. Like it's been 2 years. Yeah. And we've been doing it weekly, every week, consistently for 2 years. Barring the holidays and things of that nature. Yeah. So who knows how many hundreds of people have been to this space? And I try to do a good job of walking them around and showcasing the space. Check out the stage. Look at all the stuff we could do here. We just did a comedy show there on this past Saturday. So it's a really dope space. So it's just like, well, shit, bro. If you want to bring a ton of people here who can patronize our business and spend money and book us for events and things of that nature through exposure, we're essentially acting as an access point to that location. So that's what that's the mutual benefit.
Okay. How'd you keep so all you had to do in that relationship is keep making sure people came?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're a brewery and they have, products to sell. So it's like, hell, you can either wait on people to walk in to drink with you and spend money with you, or you can invest more heavily in marketing and promotion to make sure more people are finding you and patronizing, or you can partner with an event who's going to bring those people automatically.
Partnering. Because I'm asking all these questions because I hear, and I myself have, so many ideas, right? But an idea to fruition, those are very different things, very, very different things. And so, and then I know a lot of times with these ideas, you need a location. So I'm just I'm asking those questions for me and for people listening, how do you take something from conception to reality,
Well,
but it sounds like you explained it.
Well, I mean, a good portion of that's how that one particular thing. But just generally speaking, it starts with having a vision of some sort. You know what I'm saying? Once you have a vision, then you break the vision down a little bit more into a plan, an actionable plan. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, you just find out, well, who can I activate this plan with? You know what I'm saying? And all of that I learned just through music, just doing, music company. Hell, we want to do an album, we want to do a record, we want to do a tour, we want to do a photo shoot.
What if you don't know anybody to activate the plan with?
That's why we doing a networking.
And that's, you go out, you put your feet to the street and you figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to build a network because you can't do anything alone. No one play again unless you're a solo player, like a tennis player or something like that.
But you still have a team, even as a tennis player,
even as a solo player.
Yeah, you still have a team.
You got trainers, and people who tend to your well-being and your growth and development things. I mean, at the end of the day, the word that should be used is growth support. You know what I'm saying? If you intend to grow, you need growth support.
How do you know? I'm trying to keep track of all my questions, my follow-up questions. How does discernment come into play? So when you're meeting people that you want to build with, or just do that idea with, say it was the workshops, how do you know who to work with and who not to?
Well, I mean, for me, I keep it real simple. I don't make it my job to try to predict the future and oh, this shit's gonna work out a year and a half down the line, or it's not. For me, it starts with having a well thought out plan, and then identifying people who understand your plan
Mm-hmm.
and value your plan. But
How do you know if they understand your plan?
I mean, because they're just like, oh, I know what I could. Like when you explain to somebody what you want to do,
Uh-huh.
they're just like, oh, I know exactly what to
Oh
do.
yeah.
You know what
Their
I'm saying?
eyes light up?
Yeah,
Is
like
that a
they get
good
excited.
yes.
Like they identify with what you're trying to do. They can see themselves as a part of what you're doing.
Okay. And then they see, and that is intertwined with they see the value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like we want to do a networking event for instance, we want to create
Mm-hmm.
coalition of artists. Like someone sees the value in that, they're gonna be like, well, how can I help?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's the how does someone behave that you will be like, nah, I'm good?
You mean with regards to jumping off an idea?
Yeah.
I mean, hell, if you're not fully invested, like I'm not gonna spend too much time trying to over explain my idea because again, it should land naturally.
What does it look like when they don't explain, like when they don't get it,
I mean,
when they don't value it?
it's more of a feeling. I more feel like I have to a defend my plan. B, I'm not here to pitch you.
Right.
I'm not here to pitch you to do it. So if I gotta like pitch you and talk you into shit, I don't want to make it my job to do that. My
Right.
job is to execute my plan, not over explain my plan or
Uh-huh.
defend my plan to like,
Uh-huh.
either you with it or you ain't.
How do you get away from the people who ain't?
I mean, it's real. It's for me. It's gotten easier because I've learned how to establish boundaries,
Okay.
and I've learned how to enforce boundaries, and I've learned how to, create space for the sake of upholding those boundaries, and those boundaries are in place for my mental well-being.
How'd you get to, and look, all these questions are because I think the goal of the show is for people to be successful in whatever that means to them. But everybody talks about, oh well, the success is this is what a success looks like. But we have to talk about what it looks like day to day and navigating it day to day. So that's why I ask these very detailed questions.
Yeah, and then to piggyback off of what success looks like, it's more of, for me, the micro vision of success um, is to be able to carry out my ideas without burning out.
Okay.
I burned out before, so
yeah,
not like being able to do something and not burn out. That's a small success in itself.
How do you know when burnout is on the way?
I mean, when it's
No.
Like
the first time you got burned out, you didn't know it was on the way.
I ignored it. I felt it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, what did it feel like?
It felt heavy. It felt like I was grinding too much. It didn't feel fluid. It felt like I was dragging weight through like whatever play I'm trying to make. I'm like carrying people and doubt and sadness and anxiety and depression. I'm carrying all of that with me while trying to execute, as opposed to just being able to go and ball out and move fluidly.
So what do you do when that's happening now? To avoid the burnout getting extreme.
I mean, I create space. Like I've done a good job of identifying people that I can work with that that can step in and be good partners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, delegation is also self-care.
I'm working on a delegation workshop for my I work for a production company. Okay, so when delegating, when you are, I don't want to say chasing, but when you're working towards your goals and you have momentum and things are coming at you, is it hard to say, I gotta take a break? That's happened to me. Like all this good stuff's happening but I'm burnt. I can't, I need a break. And it's hard. How do you say no when this is what you've been wanting?
Well, if you want it, you don't say no.
Right.
You just think creatively about how to make it happen while also implementing good self-care practices. Because if you wanted it, then you can't be like, oh, I need 30 days before.
Well, not 30 days. Well, that's crazy.
Whatever to break it. Because at the end of the day, if we talk about sparing yourself and saving yourself from a mental break, that it should take however long it should take.
For real.
You feel me?
Yeah. So, what does self-care look like to you? I feel like that's a buzzword and we don't talk about it, what it is.
I mean, self-care is a lifestyle. It's not just about, oh, I do this thing. Like,
Okay.
self-care is a form of maintenance. So the same way you might have seen your favorite, superstar, like who's your favorite entertainer?
Oprah.
Right. So when you see Oprah move, she's got like two, three, four, five people moving around her
Uh-huh.
to make sure she don't got to worry about certain things like
Mm.
eating, like
Yeah.
where's her phone, like
Where's
how am I gonna get there, like where are my clothes, like where is this place, what time, like she don't have to think about none of that shit. All she got to do is show up and be Oprah. So if you can do a good job providing those same type of parameters around yourself.
That's a form of you're saying self-care is a lifestyle, but that's also a form of delegation, right? Like, okay, okay. And I wanted to go back to boundaries. How did those come about? I'm just learning about boundaries. I can't be the only one.
Therapy.
Oh, you learned, okay.
Yeah, hell yeah. I went to therapy. I started therapy in 2017
Is that when the
via the
bound
burnout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
That's
crashed and burned and started going to
I
therapy.
hate to say this like thing, but when bad things happen, really good things can come from them. And it's not like I really try to look at things, not bad, I don't want to label it, but when things happen for our evolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that hadn't happened, then you wouldn't evolve to who you are now, right?
I mean, at the end
In
of
a
the
way.
day, that's true, but it's also a mindset, because just because things happen that you can grow from don't mean that they also won't destroy you if you're not in a place to be tenacious. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like, you gotta want to live. You gotta want to survive through this shit. You gotta want. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's difficult. Like the only reason you go to therapy and pay someone to work out your problems with you is
Uh-huh.
because you're fighting violently to push forward against whatever this shit is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you're swimming against the current or whatever, and like that's your main goal.
Have you been in therapy consistently since 2017, you said?
Nah, not since
Uh,
2017, because I picked up some really, I was given really good tools. I won't say I picked them up, because I paid her and she gave them to me. You know what I'm saying? I
mm-hmm.
learned. You know what I'm saying?
But you were receptive
Yeah, like
and then you practiced
I
them.
leaned into the shit, and
Yeah.
like she gave me lots of good tools. And at the end of the day, when you have good tools, if you buy a good hammer, then you don't have to go and buy a good hammer every week.
Can you share any of the tools?
Just about how to be more self-aware. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Be more, I would say, purpose driven. Um,
What does self awareness look like?
Knowing that you're about to crash and burn, knowing that this person is triggering you and you're about to grab them by the face.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying? Knowing
yeah.
that you're about to say something that's about to take you out of character, and being
Mm.
able to temper yourself and self regulate, and
Yeah.
saying I need a break, or saying I need more time, or
Yeah.
pushing back a deadline because it was not reasonable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I think that's important what you said, because I think I used to think, oh, I can get rid of this trait or I can make it go away. Whereas no, it's you manage those traits that are not so pleasant, but they don't go away. Well,
yeah,
at least in my experience, I
they don't.
how when you implemented your first boundary, how did the person receive it? Like was because I like I said I just started doing practicing boundaries very recently,
Mm,
like this year, last year, and they're very tricky for me because they can upset people.
yeah.
But you got to be okay with. But so, what was your experience with because it's different to know something, to read about it, to think about it, and to do is you don't know how
Yeah,
the person's going to respond.
at the end of the day, like, even outside of just that question about that, like, at the end of the day, implementation is what changes your life. Doing something about what you know to be true is what changes your life. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So, speaking for myself, doing something about what I knew, all these things that I like inherently knew.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
the voice inside your head, whatever it is, that tells you, oh, this is the play, not that. This is the person, not that. This relationship should be ending. Like, this relationship should have ended a week ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. When you do something about what you know to be true, your life is different. But with regards to boundaries, um, people don't like boundaries because it doesn't serve them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boundaries are self-serving,
Mm-hmm.
and people are used to receiving certain things from you. And I was telling someone the other day, like, I like, just growing up, or just, not even just growing up, but all throughout my 20s, 30s, etc., growing up as a young adult and an adult, like, I was very good at being helpful and useful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? to people, and saving none for myself, giving myself no helpfulness and no usefulness. You know what I'm saying? So nah, people are gonna buck back, and guess what? We don't gotta talk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I'm not here for whatever it is you have. The way you're living your life is affecting me negatively.
Okay.
And I'm not here for it. So if you're not, then I'll block you. It's not a problem.
And that's just a risk you have to take when you set these boundaries.
It's not risky for me.
Okay.
It's risky not to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because again, like, this is my life.
You don't feel bad about hurting people's feelings? I know it sounds so.
I mean, but at the end of the day, you can handle people with care. It's not like, fuck you, I ain't doing it. It's just like,
but there's some people still get hurt though. They still feel hurt.
That's cool, but they have to manage that themselves. It's not your job.
That's not my responsibility
to manage their feelings.
Right.
It's not their job to manage your feelings.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? It's my job to manage my feelings. So if I'm upset and then you feel like you got to spend the next 20 minutes trying to talk me down, that throws your life out of whack, when really it's my responsibility to talk myself down and keep whatever it is we got going on moving.
Yeah. These are some, like, I don't know if it's called interpersonal, but I think these conversations are really important, because when I first implemented boundaries, I was like, oh my God, I upset them. Yeah, and that is even in business too. Yeah. And when you set boundaries, and I got nervous that someone in business would get mad at me and like shit on my name. Look, hopefully nothing like that ever happens, but that's a risk that you're taking. Like, I mean,
at the end of the day, that shit don't never stop. Like, you always feel like, damn, they gonna buck if I charge them too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but at the end of the day, somebody in your life like gonna tell you, is like, bro, you need to charge these niggas double. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you can't keep doing it for this, or you can't keep, and you gotta listen. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if people, let me walk it back a little bit. So, dealing with me, if I express a need that's going to help me, like, personally, and you don't value that, then you don't value me. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm saying this is what I need, and you're not honoring that, then, you know, you're less of a friend than I thought.
Okay.
If you need something for yourself and these people aren't willing to grant that to you, then maybe they're more selfish than they're used to. They're just used to you giving them what they want, whether it be your time, attention. If one of your friends want to call and ruin your day every day because they're not making great decisions and they're dealing with those decisions, and you're giving them good advice and how to make better decisions so that way their life is not so negatively affected, and then they would in turn stop blowing your line up. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to advise them and tell them, like, oh, but you don't want to listen. And like, well, cool, you don't have to listen, but I'm gonna take your calls less. Right. I'm gonna be less available to you. Right. So you need to fix your life. You know what I'm saying?
I can't do it for you.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to fix my life. You can't act like, you can't make your life my responsibility. Right. And I'm cool with telling people that your life is not my responsibility. Your happiness is not my responsibility. I'm not here to make you happy. You're here to make you happy. I'm here to make me happy. We're here to value each other, which in turn should make us both happy. But I don't work for you. Right. In this relationship, I don't work for you.
That makes sense. I get it. I said something to you in passing, and it just slipped out, but I wanted to bring it up because I don't know, I feel like some artists do go through it, and I fancy myself an artist and a creative of I wasn't working as much as I wanted to in the performance way. And as an artist, and I'm sure you understand this, it's a yearning and a need. So if I'm not doing it, it does affect how I feel. But I said something like, but I wanted to be, you want validation. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I want validation in the field that I'm pursuing. And there was a lull in that. And I had gotten so much, and then it kind of like stopped. And it wasn't even that long, but it made me feel a little depressed, and it slipped out. I don't even go around telling people that. I don't know why. It was supposed to happen because I said it to you.
It was a safe space.
Very much so. And you said something that really stuck with me of you don't, I'm paraphrasing, you correct me, but you are loving yourself. It shouldn't be performance based. Like, you can't only love yourself if you're performing. Can you talk about that? And I don't know. I just want to bring it to other artists.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, people, will tell you that you are what you do and things of that nature. Yeah. And if you truly are what you do, and what you're doing isn't going so well, then what, are you a piece of shit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if what you're doing isn't working out well, are you less valuable?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, um, again, like just being a man in the entertainment space, just as a man, period, like, you are what you do type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing shit, you ain't shit.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right. I'm
saying?
not agreeing, but I get what
No,
you're
yeah,
saying.
but just generally speaking,
Yes,
like
yes,
that's
yes,
why the
yes.
whole grind culture is the way, because
Yeah.
no sleep and all that shit, because
Mm-hmm.
people like
And we're living in
fit.
a
Yeah,
capitalist society. Like, we
indeed,
cannot deny that.
right,
So that's also pushed on us. Like,
indeed,
do more, do more, do more.
indeed. So there are so many people whose relationship, even if you're not an entertainment or not an
Right,
artist,
right.
but artists and entertainers especially, like so much of your value is placed on um, what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like even if your relationships with other people are, based on a performance based, your relationship with yourself should not be performance based.
Right.
You should not devalue yourself because you haven't booked as much as you want to book, or
Mm-hmm.
you haven't, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't. I shouldn't devalue myself. Like I'm still, I should still feel like this about myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
What is it? What is a? I guess so. Our value is coming from how we define ourselves, I guess.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Just how you define yourself, how you
Uh,
see yourself, how you love yourself, how you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
All of that.
Yeah. I think for when you love your career, and it's not, I'm not saying you don't love your career when it's a 9 to 5, but it's a different dynamic when it's something that is all consuming. It's not like a structure. I mean, you can have structure in it, but it's not like you go to work, punch in, clock out, and then you go on about your life. It's a constant thing. And then your brain is always like coming, not always, but for me, like ideas, ideas,
Yeah.
ideas. So when it's not happening, it's like we're like, what's happening? Because it is who it is, maybe not the performance side of it, but the thinking about it, the always, it is all consuming when it's a career like this.
I mean,
And
yeah, when you're
so,
an entrepreneur, period,
yeah,
you
yeah.
eat what you kill, or you eat what you grow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ain't been out hunting this week, or you ain't kill shit this week,
Yeah.
then you're naturally insecure about your entire lifestyle.
And that's not good, right? Well, I don't want
Right.
to label things, but that's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
you don't really have control over it, so you just have to do a good job of managing and tempering yourself. Because again, if you're under the impression that you can control the weather, control the seasons, because again, if you're eating what you're growing, and the seasons are fucking you up, and you're under the impression that you can change that, and you're going to internalize that, then you're depressed because it ain't rained in 6 months. You don't even control the rain. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? But you're
Yeah.
depressed because your entire livelihood is low key grinding to a halt, and you don't know what to do about it. Like you may or may not even have anything going on outside of what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
or you might have things going on outside of what you're doing, but they might not feed you the same.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think the a solution would be? Is like having a well-rounded life, or
Yeah, I mean, like again, self care will allow you to have a well rounded life without you having making it like an intentional effort to round out your life. You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah,
Because self care is a lifestyle.
it's built in.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
it's just like you're not gonna, if it feels itchy, I'm not into it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Or if I don't like it, I say it.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to before, but it's like, I don't really think that's a great idea. I
Mm-hmm.
might allow it to go forward a little bit and just see where it goes and let it crash a little bit, and then be like, yeah, I didn't like that from jump. I could have spared myself 6 weeks by just saying I didn't like it, and just spared myself the time, spared the group, the resources that So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm just like, I think we should do this. I don't think that's a
It's
good
quicker.
idea. You know what I'm saying? Just,
Yeah,
you just have to do a good job of advocating for yourself.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Pivoting a bit, because you run a COA, not by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but one of the founders of it. Shout out to Ralph, and everyone who helped you
Indeed.
and who worked with you. I want to give everyone credit. But so what would you tell somebody who? Because we were talking before about networking, how important
Mm-hmm.
it is, but someone who doesn't like networking or is not good at it, they think they're not good at it. What are some tips and tricks for?
Well, I mean, you just have to stop with the negative reinforcement.
Mm,
So, if you're one of those people that tell yourself you don't like it, you should stop telling yourself you don't like it.
okay,
You
let's
see what I'm
start
saying?
there.
Yeah, and if you one of those people that you know, you should be more curious because if you're not sure how networking can help you, then maybe you should be intentional about being having a more curious mind about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to do something, you can go about it alone. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But there's no way, like, say, for instance, you're trying to shoot a movie. There's no way you're writing it, producing it, financing it, seeking out distribution. Like, you're not doing all of that on your own. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
no way.
There's absolutely no way. So
No.
it's just like you're gonna have to know people, and you're gonna need to know people. And not only are you gonna have to know them, but you're gonna have to understand on how to be a judge of character with regards to who can work with you. Do
Mm-hmm.
we have the same value system? Do
Mm-hmm.
we want the same things? Like you have to be able to scout all these things out.
Mm-hmm.
Are they in it for the clout? Like they like what we're doing, they just want to be a part of it, be in the group picture,
Mm-hmm.
or do they actually want to like do they actually see a role for themselves and they actually want to carry that out? All of
Yeah.
these things, like you get good at judging these types of things by interacting with people.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's the only way. How do you see somebody who's just a cloud chaser versus someone who values the work or sees or really sees themselves doing it?
Well, I mean, people who see a role for themselves in most cases perform that role.
Mm-hmm.
They're just looking for an opportunity to perform the role.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even like tell me what you've been doing. To like they're just like, hey, so I did this, I got this, I thought about this, I had this idea.
Take initiative.
This could be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're assertive. Like, when you find someone who's creative and assertive and wants to buy into what you're doing, you have to know what to do with that. And you won't know what to do with a person who's essentially a human resource. You won't know how to handle resources if you're not in practice of doing so.
Right. Right. And someone who wants to bring value, they're doing. I was just thinking about this. They're doing the work. They're taking initiative alone, and they're bringing stuff to the table that I think going above and beyond, bringing a little more than you ask for.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I don't really, ask for much. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I
Because
mean like they're already doing a lot. They're already like, okay, for me, if I tell you I want to come host something for you, you can look at my YouTube channel and see I have over 200 videos. I do this. This is
mm-hmm.
important to me.
Yeah,
So whatever you ask me for, you can see my resume, but I'm already doing it
indeed,
anyways.
indeed.
So that's what I mean, like taking initiative. Nobody's asking me to do this. I'm doing it. So I can bring that to the table and you already see that I work really hard. Like, do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I
So,
mean, like it's like talent scouting. You see what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So essentially, like say in the music business, like as an A&R, like I have to part of my job would be talent scouting. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
was doing A&R for like a record label,
Mm-hmm.
I might be responsible for finding new talent for them.
Uh-huh.
We want to sign 3 new acts, a
And
rapper, a singer, a producer.
will work ethic matter in those cases?
Of course,
So,
because you have to invest.
right. How would you know? How would you know they have good work ethic? Or
I
you
mean,
just wait and
you give
see?
them, yeah, you give them an opportunity. I
Okay.
mean, because like again, working in the music industry, and like someone says, "Oh, I'm a singer." All right, cool. Let's see.
Would the person stand out who already has some stuff to show you versus the person who doesn't have anything to show you, but they are talented. You can see them saying, but
Yeah,
they don't have anything to show you yet.
yeah. For me, it's not about showing me anything. It's just
Okay.
like you want to do something, do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you see what
Yeah.
we got going on. Again, it's about like a valuable team member is one who has a self-defined role.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So part of the frustration with having team members that you always have to direct is that you have to, think for them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
Yeah.
don't tell them to do anything, nothing will happen. If you don't like, I don't know. So I don't want to micromanage. I don't want to manage at all in every aspect. Like
Right.
sometimes I just like again, you have someone who's a self starter and has a self reliant kind of attitude and personality. It's like just get busy and bring it to the table.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's so important.
But yeah, but talent scouting. Like, so if you see someone who's talented and you feel like they need an opportunity, that's your job to bring them into the fold and give them an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity and see where we can grow from there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, we're running out of time. I do want to ask about failure really quickly. How do you deal with something that doesn't go how you thought it would, or failure?
I mean, well, it's cliche as it sounds. Like, you know, all the people who have done great shit who tell you that failure, it's not. It's failure is a learning opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, those are people who are in the habit of doing shit. People who aren't in the habit of doing shit, they're thinking you get one shot at it, and either the shit goes to the moon or
Mm.
crashes and burns. But that was your one opportunity.
Mm.
That's what you think if you're not in the habit of doing shit. But if you've been doing shit for 10 years, you know that you'll try it, it'll work or it won't work, and then you retry it and it'll work or won't work, and then you retry it again, or you have another idea, but it's never, you know what I'm saying? Like, this
Mm-hmm.
one thing that you might have tried 5 years ago, you run into something in 2025 and it's like, oh shit, it could work now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are opportunities for you to revisit things that you been through or had experiences with, and because you've done them already, you have a chance to revisit that and kind of, just retry it. But like, that's a learning opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a failure. It's just like, well, I tried it, but as long as you're able to say, well, this didn't work because of this and this. Like, if you do a good job of assessing why things don't work, then it's not a failure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But that's what you learn, that with experience. You
Right.
don't have experience, you just think you try and burn, and you try and fail. But with
Mm-hmm.
experience, you learn that no, you take inventory of what you did well, what you didn't do well. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
hell, if you look at sports, NFL, they play 17 games now. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? Like, you don't stop fucking playing because you didn't win the first game. Baseball, it's 182 goddamn games.
Right.
In the NBA, it's 82 games. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
you quit halfway through the season because things aren't going well, then you won't be available to even show up mentally or emotionally to play the rest of the games in order to win.
Mm-hmm. And what you said too of assessing, they watch tape. Well, I mean, that's what I heard. I don't
Yeah, they
know a
watch
lot about
tape.
sports,
Yeah,
but they watch tapes. They study themselves. They study. They study.
but as
Study.
an actress, you
Study.
watch yourself on tape.
Well,
That's why they want to see you on tape. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you tape your rehearsals, then you can. That's game film. That's watching
Mm-hmm.
yourself on tape and being like, you don't be like, oh, that was a terrible rehearsal. I failed at that shit. I guess I'm not an actor. Like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
If you have rehearsal 2 days from now, you watch the fucking tape from your last night, and you're like, all right. So when we go in 2 days from now, boom, 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 boom. You have
Mm-hmm.
all, either you do that or your director does it, but somebody has to
Right.
be good at explaining why failure is not failure. And
Mm-hmm.
if other people aren't there to do it, then A, you need to get busy having experiences, because experiences will teach you, or C, B, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you find someone that can, help
Yeah.
direct.
Yeah. That's something that uh, everyone who's been on the show who owns something or is an entrepreneur or whatever says this. There's something very, very similar. What they said it in very different words, but
Mm-hmm.
the concept is there, and I think it's so important. You got to do and assess and keep doing.
Yeah, because I mean, as an entrepreneur, you eat what you kill. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have a bad day hunting, like, you don't stop eating. You gotta fucking go. But again, if you're just used to living in a small world, not small from a disrespectful standpoint,
Right.
but if you're used to living in a controlled environment where you know exactly what's happening, when, how, and
Mm-hmm.
where, then anything outside of that is scary for you.
Yeah. Yeah. But oh yeah. Okay. What does success mean to you? How do you define it?
Um, well, I think I alluded to it a little bit earlier. It's like, for me, success would be,
You said micro success.
yeah, but even on a grander scale,
Uh-huh.
because all of these grand things come from micro atoms that look like this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everything is micro, and it appears the same, from a macro level as well. So, hell, being able to execute all of my ideas, and not burn out, like, and
Mm-hmm.
be able to be myself the entire time. Like, if I can, like, you know, do things my way and benefit from them the way that I want,
Mm-hmm.
and not have to sacrifice myself to do so, because I spent the first half of my life, I would say I'm a young person, but I spent a good portion of my life thus far, sacrificing myself
In what
to
way?
make things happen. No sleep, grind
Mm-hmm.
culture. It's just, again, like, I was depressed for years and didn't even know it, because I just thought I hated life and things would change once something I was doing popped. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens when people, like, say Mary J. Blige, for
Mm-hmm.
instance. Like, I remember growing up watching her, living out her dreams at the height of her success, and she was so depressed, and I was just like, how? Why are you depressed? Like the thing that you wanted in life, you have it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But she sacrificed a lot of herself to get there.
What does depression look like when you don't understand it? Because it sounds like it wasn't cliche the way you were experiencing it.
nah, it's more hopelessness. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, well, shit ain't gonna work anyway. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
try? Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's like, um, yeah, lack of focus, lack of want to, lack of motivation,
Mm-hmm.
lack of like, hell, you don't. Speaking for myself, when I was depressed, like, I would have to, the same way I don't want to convince people that my ideas are good now. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
just have to connect with my idea. And be like, bro, I see what you're talking about. I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. I want to get involved. I spend a lot of time when I was depressed trying to convince myself of my worth. You know what I'm saying? So when I don't feel valuable to myself, because again, like I set all these parameters in place so that way I don't have a performative relationship with myself. Like, oh, you're not a millionaire yet, so you ain't shit. Oh, you ain't got a project out yet, so you ain't shit. Or you don't have the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I manage myself in a way to where my relationship with myself is not based on what I have or what I'm doing or how well I'm doing it or how people are dealing with me or whatever. It's just based on how I view myself. But when I was depressed, the viewpoint that I had of myself was a lot. There was less value. The
What is
value
the
was there, but I had to convince I had to fight violently to convince myself and maintain the ideas of self value that I did have.
what is it based on now?
What is what based on?
Your uh the value of yourself or how you see yourself or what's important so
Well,
that you don't have to fight for it. Why don't you have
well,
to fight for it now?
Well, I don't have to fight for it now because I've chosen my path. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Before, I might not have been 100% into what I was doing, like because it wasn't self-serving enough. I might have been doing stuff for you or doing stuff, being useful and helpful. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And not serving myself, not acknowledging my own creativity, not like so now it's different because hey, I see myself different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to like fight to validate myself to myself, let alone validate myself to others.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What would you tell somebody now? Because I know for me, and why the show got started was because I think our culture is set up. I can't tell everybody their experience, but this is what I feel that is set up to say, well, you ain't shit unless you do this,
Yeah.
unless you do this.
Yeah.
So what do you tell someone who, because that sounds like that was your mindset before.
Yeah.
What do you tell someone who thinks, okay, my life sucks. It's gonna be good when I get this, when I hit this goal. Um,
Well, I mean, what I would tell them is look at all the rich, famous, wealthy people who are depressed.
mm-hmm,
And as much as you would say, I would love to have those wealthy ass people's problems,
mm-hmm,
you just have to realize, like I said, for me, when I was watching Mary J. Blige cry in interviews talking about how much she hates her life, and like say on Oprah, and Oprah's just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?
right,
You're fucking chart topping," and she's just like, I ain't believe I ain't. I was told I wasn't shit my whole life.
right,
So she's fighting against whether or not she actually deserves to be here.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So you just have to be mindful of those things and just realize that based on what you've seen with other people, you have to trust that. You have to trust your eyes. Like that shit won't give you value. I mean, you see the way celebrity and stardom and wealth and fame, you see how it treats people. Like
mm-hmm.
nobody gives a fuck about Britney Spears now. Like no one gives a fuck about all these different people
No.
that they're like, yeah. So you just kind of got to realize with regards to public and public facing value, they're only gonna love you so much. So you have to develop your own value system with yourself. It's not based on
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's true too for any field. Like, oh, if I open up my own practice, because we had Dr. Sahara on the show last week, or I become a lawyer, then I'm valuable. Then and I
But see, the thing about it is, if you don't know your value, then other people will manipulate that. Because
mm,
what'll happen is, if people see that when you know who you are, people notice, right?
mm-hmm.
But when you don't know who you are, people
People notice.
notice. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, oh, you need validation. you're going to work 60-hour weeks. Like, you just started this law firm. They know that, you have this aspiration to maybe start your own, but you don't,
Yeah.
you feel the need to prove yourself. Cool. You're going to work 60-hour weeks. We're going to pay you for 40, but also we need you to work for free on the weekends.
They're going to exploit that.
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't think about that. How do you know who you are, and how do people? What is
Self discovery is a huge thing. You know what I'm saying? Personal growth and development, self discovery is a big proponent. Knowledge of self is huge, and most of that comes from me. Speaking for myself, most of that comes from therapy. You know what I'm saying? And people are afraid of it because, in my opinion, people are afraid of it because they don't know themselves. They don't know what they're going to find. They're afraid to find out what they're, you know what I'm saying? Just like the same reason people don't go to doctors to get evaluated, or they don't want to go and get tested for whatever because they don't want to find out if, you're afraid of what may not be there.
Right.
You're afraid of what may be there, but also you're afraid of, like, you might completely lack depth. You don't want to find that shit out. You're afraid. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even want to go through the journey. So of self discovery. You know what I'm saying? So like self discovery is key. And I picked that up in therapy.
And it is scary, but you got to do it scared. I do so many things while I'm scared, but it doesn't matter. The fear is not going to go away.
Yeah, people need to know that as well. Like, people think that people who are doing shit must be special and must not feel fear, must not feel pain, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you have to understand that, it's what they say about courage. It's like doing something in spite of fear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're like, there are a lot of people who are waiting to not be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, when I'm not afraid anymore, that's the time.
That's not gonna happen.
Nah, you know what I'm saying?
I tell you right now.
For me personally, I've gotten in the habit of just starting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because people are waiting for the right time, the right season. They're waiting to feel worthy. It's like you build up your worthiness some other way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Figure out, like, you gotta have that shit intact before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you're waiting to feel worthy, you're waiting to feel like an actor before you call yourself an actor, or you're waiting for someone to book you before you, like, then maybe you'll never be one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be a baller when you're going into the tryout. Like, I play ball.
Yeah.
I don't play ball because I'm on his team. I'm a fucking baller when I'm at the crib.
No, I think that is so important because for me, there's things that I've been doing for years and I still get scared. Even like I go to the gym. I consistently have been working out for 10 years. I mean, consistently. And I still get nervous sometimes lifting certain weights. I get nervous to be in certain parts of the gym. I still get intimidated by somebody who has, I'm lifting next to them. Like, is my form okay? I know my form is good, but I still get intimidated and nervous.
And you just have to be cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, again, pay attention to great people who do great shit. Like, if Adele is talking about she still got stage fright when she step out, then fucking pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Why is it okay for her to have stage fright as a generational artist, but you won't allow yourself that?
Yeah. No, it really is important. That's the whole reason for the show, and I'm glad you said it. Well, that's part of it, is like doing things when you're scared, because I get nervous to ask people to do things. Like, I get sweaty.
Man, listen, like, my palms. Every Wednesday on the way to the fucking event, I'm like fucking doing breathing exercises. You know what I'm saying? Because I have social anxiety just like everybody else.
Wow, I didn't know. Y'all would never know. And I've seen him a lot at the COA.
Yeah, so like, but I have social anxiety just like everybody else. I have to wrap myself up to fucking go into a room and talk to 100 people and talk about myself and do all this stuff and be you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta like really tap into the most delusional version of myself.
For real.
Nigga, I'm a producer when I walk in the room. People gotta feel it. I gotta emote that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta work up the nerve to emote that. I gotta work up the nerve. Like, oh, what projects you got out? I don't have any projects out now. I'm not a producer because I haven't movies out yet. I'm a producer because I said so.
And you have done it. So there's value there. But with the show, I go on autopilot, but in a good way. I've trained myself, and then something bigger takes over when I'm interviewing. But it has to be that way. I can't show up for these all the time. But something bigger than me, I've trained myself, and it does it for me. And then I'm like, okay. And I still evaluate, and I still learn and do my best. But
see, like, that's the thing. Like, so for me, part of what counteracts fear is having a good plan. And another thing is having systems in place that you can rely on. Because if I start to feel like I don't know if any of this shit is like, am I smart? Like, am I doing the right things? Man, you're gonna look at this foolproof plan and be like, God damn, I'm gonna be fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Once I execute all, nigga, I'm gonna be straight. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? So that like reverting back to my plan, referring to my plan gives me self confidence because
Yeah.
I did that for myself.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So yeah, those two things.
Yeah. I think preparation helps too. Like,
Yeah.
because like I said, when I go on autopilot, it's not because I haven't trained myself or done the preparation. It's because I trained myself to go on autopilot because it's so
Yeah,
in
and the
there.
training is a part of the system. So you got
Right.
to have systems in place
Right.
because at the end of the day, if like you can't always be actively maintaining, like so you got to rely on your system.
Yeah.
Again, if you don't feel smart or whatever or successful or productive, you got to rely on the system that's in
Yeah.
place because
Yeah.
again, like there's a system in place for Wednesdays, so all I got to do is work up the nerve to show
To
up.
show up. One of these really great directors, it doesn't matter. I think it was what's his name? The one who did Jurassic Park.
I forget too.
Well, anyways, it's somebody who was very well known. But he said, I think it was him. Doesn't matter. 90% of all of this is showing up, and that is a huge part because it takes a lot of courage just to show up.
Especially if you don't feel like showing up, or if you don't feel worthy. Like if you've got imposter syndrome and you don't feel like you belong there
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
then again, like how is it easy to show up when you have to convince yourself that you belong there?
Right.
And mental health comes into that. Like again, like part of why I value therapy so much is because if you have like performance anxiety, it's for a reason. It's because you don't feel like you're that person that day. You don't
Right.
feel like the start, like you know what I'm saying. So with regards to like performance anxiety, you need systems in place to deal with
No,
that.
it's so true. It's so true. I will say, and there's so many times I don't feel like showing up, or I don't want to, or I don't think I'm worthy enough. And I like to be transparent about that because, again, the goal of the show is I want people to have a life that they enjoy, and I think that is, and that challenges them to be their best selves. And I think it's very possible, whatever that looks like for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the show is not about just being an entertainment or just whatever. It's whatever is calling you, but it does. I come from a world where no one was doing that, so I know it takes a lot, and I know how much it's taken me, and I want people to have these tools so they can pursue whatever it is they want, and then know it's like showering. It's not a one-time thing. You got to do it all the time. You got to do this stuff all the time.
Because people think it's a problem that you solve,
and that ain't true.
And they think that because this whole thing that makes a lot of people feel more comfortable about not doing shit is the fact, oh, that person got all the shit together. Nah, they just fucking suffering in silence and making themselves show up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like, you can't give yourself that excuse or give yourself that out. Like, I don't have my shit together. This person does. She does, or he does. Like, nah, that's not true. Like they like. And as long as people are good at being transparent about who they are and what they go through in order to maintain where they are and what they have going and maintain themselves properly, like as long as we're transparent about saying it's like, shit, bro, I almost die every time I walk on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like before I go out there, I pass out a little bit, and then I go, I die, and then I come back as a whole new person, and then I fucking run out there, and I, you know what I'm saying? And I put on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you have to know that it's okay to feel weak before you go out and perform.
No, the doubts, the fear, all of it.
It's all a part of it.
Oh, it's a part of it, and it's so important. And before we close out, there's two more quick things. I just want to drive home what you said about success of like people thinking that once you get something, then you'll feel better. That ain't gonna happen. Sorry to tell you, it's not. It's not. It might feel good it's just like a new car.
Plus, you run the risk of waiting. You run the risk of spending 20 years waiting for something to happen before you give yourself permission to be happy. So you run the risk of waiting. You don't want to spend your whole life waiting.
No, it's so true. And permission to be happy. That's something I think about a lot. Like I just got that. Do you know how you hear something and it just puts a light bulb out? And I'm like, oh, you have to give yourself permission to have a nice life, to be happy,
to try this new thing. Because again, like if you don't feel like, well, I've never done that before. Who told you it was okay to do that?
Right, I did, and that's good, and that's fine.
I gave myself permission to do it.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's a whole different mindset of giving yourself permission to do something because you wanted to, versus looking for validation and looking for someone to tell you it's like you belong. You
Mm-hmm.
can go ahead and give it a shot. You deserve it.
Right.
Giving yourself the shot because you deserve it is
Right.
like that's the best version of being an advocate for yourself.
Yeah. And I think saying like, well, for me, I have to be like, hey, who the fuck are you? Like, I can't worry about your validation because it's gonna, like what you were saying about Britney Spears and stuff. People will give you validation as long as they want to, and then it could go away. And then where are you?
They use it like currency. They'll give it to you
Yeah,
and then take it
yeah,
away.
yeah. So you can't rely on that. But if it's in you, who can take it from you? Like, and that's like a cliche, but
Yeah,
it's
because
true.
validation, it really is a form of currency, and people will spend it with you
Mm-hmm.
when they want, and then
Mm-hmm.
they'll not spend it with you when
Yeah.
they want you to come to them for some more validation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if
Mm-hmm.
you're, like you open 3 like incredible plays this year,
Mm-hmm.
and niggas is writing all these incredible articles about you, and then like you said, it dries up for 6 months. Now you're just like, hey, did you not see this other thing I've been? Do you not care anymore? You know what I'm saying? But no,
Yeah.
they want you to fucking come to them, like hit the, like, hey, let me take you out to lunch so you can write about, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will just spend that currency with you and take it away so they can have leverage, emotional leverage,
Mm-hmm.
and mental leverage, like just whatever. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
so you have to have your own value system so that way people can't subsidize. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right. And you don't go nuts if it's not there.
Right. Because you have, again, you have your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
having being a country that prints their own money.
Mm.
That's the difference in the world economy. Some countries print their own money, so the money is valuable. And
Mm-hmm.
some countries, they rely on outside currencies, so they don't even have their own money. And if they do, it's worth significantly less because
And they have to make all kinds of compromises to keep getting it.
you got to give up parts of your infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing in life. Like, for that same type of validation and that same currency of validation, like, you might have to give up parts of, you know, you might be working on shit that you don't even care about for 10 years.
Yeah.
You might be in relationships that don't serve you for X amount of years because, validation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are tricky. This is a lot to chew on. Y'all got it. You got a lot to chew on. Before we close out, do you have anything else to that you want to leave the folks with? But I'll do your how to find out more about you stuff. But any other thoughts? We closed out kind of heavy, right? Is that too heavy?
That's what we're here for. I mean, this shit ain't
true.
heavy. Like, this shit helps your life.
You're welcome.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is, yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone, you're welcome. If you're good, I'll close this out.
Straight up, yeah.
Okay. Let me get to my outro here. I feel like I didn't close this out like in a neat bow. That's okay. Thank you, Gary, for sharing your time with me and inspiring listeners to redefine success for themselves. You can find out more about Gary on.
I'm on all the social platforms at Gary E. Jordan, Coalition of Artists. You can find us on all the socials at COA Workshops with an S. We've got some dope partnerships coming up with the Black Economic Entertainment Council with regards to funding, whether it be private equity, venture capitalists, grants, things of that nature. We're working with them with regards to distribution as well.
Okay.
So for me, the overall goal for Coalition of Artists, I believe I speak for the team, but the overall goal is to be able to build COA up to a point where it can function, where we can function like a boutique studio. We can fund projects, you know what I'm saying, develop projects, produce them, and distribute them and market them.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because that's what creates the most equity here in the city. You know what I'm saying, for the creatives, like myself included. You know what I'm saying? I do have my own production company. It's called Follow the Water. Of course, because where there's water, there's life. And for me, creativity is life. So you follow the creativity, then boom. So.
All of that will be in the show notes. We have to get the rest of the team up here. Tell them to come.
Oh yeah.
And if you're in Atlanta or visiting Atlanta, check out COA. I follow them. Like I said, it'll be in the show notes. But I've genuinely, truly find so much value in COA. Half the
Blessings.
guests up here I met at COA, or through, I was telling you before, through someone who I met at COA. Uh, and I was on a show that is in post production from the creator was I met at COA.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I mean, we're just
it,
doing a good job
yeah.
of creating opportunities for the city. Like I just call that community equity. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's really important. Like doing something that's impactful, which that like again, that's what makes me feel good. Like that's where part of my self worth and value, and
Yeah.
because it's purpose driven. Like I'm providing value for not only myself but for all of my constituents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I look at this as a campaign because Hollywood, of course, is moving to Atlanta, and we're running
Mm-hmm.
a campaign to make sure that once Hollywood is here, like they got to at least check in with all of us. You feel me? We can't be co-opted like that. So if we create a type of platform with the right amount of community equity, then yes, Hollywood has to. They can't co-opt you. They can't co-opt me. They can't say, hey, we're gonna work with you, but not Selena. It's like, bro, Selena's a part of the coalition, so
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna get some of this money too. Like, like that's the overall goal, and knowing that, um, that helps. That
Yeah.
helps my mental health. Like that provides me with a sense of happiness
Mm-hmm.
and patience and just value and so
Okay.
makes me
I was
happy.
thinking about like what okay, because it creates patience for you. That's I wanted to say too, you're good at it because we were also talking, I don't know if I said this on the show today, but about how networking can be difficult. We did talk about it, but you also create a space and an environment where it's comfortable, inviting, and that's why people keep coming back for
Yeah,
years now,
yeah.
including myself. So that's also important too, because we've all been to the networking events where nothing's wrong with them, but they don't make it feel as comfortable, especially for somebody who's new to the city or new to networking, because I was not a big time networker before I moved to Atlanta,
Right.
but I realized the importance of it when I moved here. So I do it as often as I
Well,
can.
yeah, it's easy for it to become important when it's valuable,
Mm-hmm.
and it's easy for it to be valuable when it feeds you in a way. It
Mm-hmm.
caters to you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not a thing of you show up and you're gonna be sitting by yourself. Like no,
No.
I'm gonna we're gonna greet you, and I'm gonna bring people. I'm gonna find out who you are, what you
Mm-hmm.
do, and oh, that's what you're doing. Hey, come over here and talk to this person. This is
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
y'all can get some money together.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Like that's value. Like that's worth leaving the house for.
No, for sure, making those connections. And then the last thing I'll say about it too, I'm not trying to sell it. I don't need to. It sells itself.
Mm.
But I do, when I find something that I appreciate so much, I'm gonna talk about it. But also the regulars who come, it feels like there's networking for sure, but it also has a component of a support system of, like you said, community.
Straight up.
So it feels, even if that day I don't make some big connection, I'm fostering the connections that I've already made, and so you're
Yeah.
making those stronger and
I
stronger and
seen you slide
stronger.
into the room, high fiving people. It's like you hear everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And it just feels good. You need that.
yeah,
In this, it could be especially when you're new to the city, you don't know a lot of people. It can feel lonely or just isolating.
yeah. Like being creative can be singular.
Yeah,
It can be a singular lonely
yeah.
experience, even for me. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I needed the coalition of artists, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be at the crib by myself trying to
No.
figure all this shit out. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no. And I've had some deep conversations at COA, and then I'm like, "Come on the show, please."
Yeah, but
So,
it's easy to have a deep conversation
yeah,
when y'all already have this identifying factor. Like
yeah,
you're not in the room with a bunch of people who are not thinking the same or not
right,
wanting the same things.
right,
You're not in the room with people who are unlike you. So
right.
it's just like if you're having a rough week for a particular reason,
Mm-hmm.
this person could probably understand. Oh, you spent too much time working and not enough
Uh-huh.
time feeding your creative, and that's why your week
Yeah.
sucks. Like a regular person, by regular person, I mean a person who isn't working in the creative arts
Mm-hmm.
might not understand that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you can have a conversation with someone who most of those layers are already removed.
That's so important. No, for real. Is it a stretch to say it feels like my church a little bit?
Nah, people said that before.
Okay.
People feel
Okay.
like, oh, this feel like Wednesday service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because that's the thing. Like say for instance, you did grow up Christian or whatever Catholic. Like part of it is being in fellowship with people who all have faith in the same thing.
Yes.
And so being in a room full of people who all have faith in the arts can feel like, creative church. I get it. Like
It does.
I've heard that a few times.
It feels uplifting. And I forgot the most important, I keep talking about that for real. I forgot one of the most important things. You also can showcase your work. Okay, so there is a writing workshop that's a different day. That's Mondays, right?
So Ralph is running an actual workshop with regards to developing screenplays and things of that nature. It's
Okay.
a 6-week course. Ralph, he'll tell you more about it when he comes on. I think he's just developing a new curriculum. But again, the main thing is training and education, because Hollywood is going to keep flying in people from New York and LA to work here in Atlanta because of the tax credit and things of that nature. But there's not enough locals working in it. We're not participating actively. We're just like watching it. Like, oh shit, they're shooting a movie over there. How do I even get involved? How do I participate?
Yeah.
But it's difficult for a lot of Georgians to participate because we're not viewed as industry standard with regard to our skill levels. So Ralph is on the training and education portion of it, but then the networking and showcasing portion of it, which I'm passionate about, is also so important because, like you said, networking provides you with a sense of community, and showcasing your work provides you with a sense of self-worth.
Yeah.
As an artist, like, hell, if you got this project that you've worked on and you ain't never had an opportunity to screen it.
Yeah.
Here we are.
And it's encouraging too, because again, ideas to it being a real thing that we all can sit here and watch is powerful. And on the days where your project might be stalled or whatever, it's like, okay, I can keep going. I can keep, and then you get to see these people, they talk about what they do. Well, we know talk is cheap to a certain extent, like that's cool, but now I get to actually see what you work on
and that's why
too.
the showcasing
So exactly
is so important, because as a person who's watching someone showcase, it's low-key inspiring.
Yeah,
even if you don't connect with whatever the piece is they're showcasing, watching this person up there in front of the room putting on, like, you know what I'm saying, allowing themselves to be vulnerable, and they're scared. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hell, my voice cracks when I get up there. You know what I'm saying? So like that part is inspiring, but also like it's like, oh, I think I want to show my piece now.
Yeah.
I think I want to show my piece now. So like, yeah, like the showcasing is important because it's inspiring, but also as a person that's showcasing your work, you need that validation, like you said.
Yeah.
You need to know if these lines are gonna hit. You need to know if the jokes you wrote are you gonna get the chuckles? Are you gonna get the laughs that you like?
Yeah.
Some of the pivotal work that you put into your piece, you need to know if it connects with people. So being able to showcase that is important. And I'm very proud of the fact that we've been doing this on a weekly basis for the past 2 years. So that means every week for 2 years, I don't know how many weeks that is, but there's been at least 1 or 2 showcases, because there's been a couple of weeks where you had multiple showcases. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People were sharing the stage on a Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? So we've had at least 1 showcase a week, weekly, for 2 years straight. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's at least 100.
Yeah, that's a lot of artists with a little bit more about it. Like, some of those people who showcased their work have gone on to, like, if you did a script reading and it went well, some people have gone on to actually shoot. You know what I'm saying? And then some people have taken what they've shot and have actually move forward with the project. And they're just like, hey man, like, listen, that table read I did with you guys, like that was pivotal for me being able to shoot. Or that screening I did with you guys, like I was able to shoot my material, and then I was able to screen it at COA, and screening that material and getting that feedback and insight led to the next piece the next project that I'm producing. Like, so I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, as you should be. And that takes so much courage, and everyone watching knows how much it takes to get something to that point. And that's their baby. When you work on something, that's your little baby, and you're giving it to the room. Yeah. So it's a big deal. It really is.
And I enjoy making it feel like, you know what I'm saying, along with the team and all the attendees, we're all bought in on Wednesdays being a safe space. So we're all there to make it feel like it's your birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we're not here to criticize and like, I didn't like this, or like, no, this is warm input and dialogue with regards to this person's piece of art. And like, I enjoy watching the room. The networking is a little different before whatever the showcase is.
Hey everyone, the sound cut out. But the good news is I did figure out what's going on. We will not have any more sound difficulties in 2025. That's figured out. So thank you so much for bearing with us and listening to the episode. Anyways, I want to send a huge thank you to our guest, Gary E. Jordan. Such a pleasure to have him on the show. You can find out more about Gary on Instagram at Gary E. Jordan. And I want to thank you, the listeners, for checking out this episode. Make sure you listen next week because that's a wrap-up episode of 2024, and it's going to feature almost all of the guests that we've had on the show this year. So it's going to be fun. It's going to have a lot of just the highlights of all the shows. And also remember to like and share this episode. You can follow us on Instagram at YouPlusHappy. And if you subscribe on YouTube, you'll never miss an episode because you'll get notifications. Lastly, remember, we'll show you our definition of success if you show us yours. Bye.